Hello, and welcome to Success Stories with Key, where you get a chance to see success from the eyes of someone who is achieving success. What is success? Success is different for different people, so I'm interested in hearing from these people to find out about their achievements, their challenges, and their keys to success. This week, I have the honor of speaking with Himanshu Jain. Himanshu is a solution architect with over 20 years of experience in digital marketing and CRM. He is an entrepreneur running his business, Cloud Sensei, and if that's not enough, he's a mentor and dad. So, who is the real Himanshu?
Who's the real Himanshu? I came to Australia about 20 years ago, over 20 years ago, um, just out of high school. I come from a place called Jaipur in Rajasthan, India. I started my life here in Australia pretty much not knowing anyone, by myself, doing odd jobs, things you do as an international student, dishwashing, Hungry Jacks, to face-to-face marketing, some analyst sort of roles. Pretty much being around the sales and marketing game all my life. Nowhere near IT. I had no idea that I was going to go into IT. Sort of one thing led to another. And here we are, 22 years later, talking about digital marketing.
In your 22 years of experience, what are some of your proudest achievements?
Building a life in a new country, not knowing people, 18-year-old, just trying to figure out things by himself. I think that is something that I'm quite proud of. Yeah, all the way to like recently starting my own business. I got married a little bit early, 22, 23-year-old. So the responsibilities were there, and I'm the only child as well. So I had all the responsibility of taking care of my parents as well. The challenges that you face when you have to make a decision and you have some liabilities to look after, some responsibilities to cover. Those are some of the things that I feel good about taking those decisions, because it takes years for you to think about, I'm going to do that next, but you don't do it. You keep reminding yourself every month, every few months, and you don't really do it. But then finally you take that step and you say, okay, I think this will work out. There are people to support you. You know people that can support you, those sort of things.
So, what made you want to leave your country of birth and start from scratch in a foreign country?
Very interesting story. I did not want to come out of my country. I did not know. I did not have anyone who actually had gone out. I'm the first one out of the family as well. I did not have any aspirations of moving overseas. I thought I'm gonna, work in my dad's business or something like that. But my dad always wanted me to move to Australia and Melbourne, because one of his friends told him, send Himanshu to Australia and Melbourne specifically. It's the best place to live. So yeah, it was my dad who pushed me. And one day he asked me, I actually did not want to come. The other reason I did not want to come was my girlfriend at the time, my wife now. We were going out, and obviously I didn't want to leave the country and not being able to see her or meet her. Still in school, still in year 11, year 12. One day we had an argument. She said, yeah, do whatever you want. And I said yes to my dad that night. Next day, we were sitting in somebody's office trying to get my paperwork sorted. I still remember it was 15th of August. And by end of September, I was in Melbourne.
Now, that's an amazing story. Sounds like you've got your wife to thank for you being in Melbourne.
Yes, yes. And a lot of other things.
Fantastic. So the other thing you mentioned was that it was quite a challenge for you to decide what to do next and then to get into IT. So can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I think it comes from the place of fear. I was working in my early stages of my career. We were doing face-to-face sales, and that company closed down overnight. And because we were all working as contractors, we did not get paid for the last 1.5 months of whatever we were expecting. Instilled a lot of fear in me about the outside world and what people say, what they mean. Somebody who we were talking to 5 days ago is now saying that, sorry, I can't pay you anymore. Forget about your last 6 weeks of money. So I had to be 150% sure about making a decision. And I used to overthink a lot. So that made, that is something that I think taking any decision is sort of delayed because I'm not coming from a strong, yes, everything's going to be all right. I'm always thinking, doubting what can go wrong. And slowly I'm trying to convert myself to a bit more optimistic person. But things that like the experiences that you have at that such a young age, it takes a while to get over them.
So during this time between coming to Australia, coming to Melbourne, and where you are now, what are some of the different things that you've done?
Finding mentors. So every time I had a new challenge or planning to do something new in my life, the moment I started thinking about it and I was a little bit convinced about it, I started looking for people who can help me. I have so many mentors in different aspects of my life: professional, personal, finance, growth, spiritual. So when I have a question in my head, I know I don't have answers. That's why it's still a question, right? So where will the answers come from? It'll either come from some reading, listening to someone, meeting people. It'll be outside, won't be inside. So knowing that you can ask for help, not shying away from asking for help. And I've had some really good experiences with people. I didn't pay anything to them for that, right? I can't repay it. I can only pay it forward. So yeah, asking for help, finding people, making those connections has helped quite a bit.
So it's interesting that you're quite open to mentors and that you've pursued various different mentors for different fields. Some people aren't as open as you are. So what do you think has caused this openness to mentors?
So look, I wasn't like that always. I had a very bad mindset. I'm happily accepting that. I used to think negative about people for no reason. Right? But then I met some really good folks. It started with in one of the companies I was working, there was a mentorship program. I asked for a mentor and also became a mentor for someone. I was learning more in being a mentor than my mentorship with my mentor. So very quickly, I had the taste of both. What does it mean to seek help and how to seek help, and how open people are. So the more successful people you meet, they'll be open to sharing their wisdom. They're not there to find an opportunity to make you work for something or make money off you. They're satisfied. If you ask for help, they're just open to helping you out. I would have still doubted them at the beginning, thinking that maybe in the next meeting something will come. Maybe the meeting after they'll ask for something from me. But that never happened. And that internally changed me a lot. I understood what it means to be a mentor and what I should be doing because that's how I want other people around me to feel about me as well.
So in terms of challenges, what advice would you give to other people?
Value relationship, value people, value the advice that you seek from people. Just overall value people around you. I've had the pleasure of working with the same individuals over and over again, different places, sometimes different industries. It all became so easy and so much more joyful when you had a very good memory of working with them, right? Um, and when people talk about, people don't remember what you said, but people remember how you said and how that made them feel. So be conscious of the fact how you're making people feel around you, and don't shy away from asking for help. There are so many good people around. I haven't met anyone who said no to me and said, outright, I'm not going to help you. Everybody's is there to support each other. You support uh, others as well. So it's not a one-way street. You get some value from people, but you need to be able to give more value. The more value you can give out, the better it'll become.
So let's move on to success. How do you define success?
Thin progression over a period of time. Measure your success on all aspects of your life. Are they better than last year? Right? Are you better financially? Are you better professionally, spiritually, in your personal relationships with people? Do you have enough money? You don't need millions of dollars to be happy. Well, are you satisfied? Do you have enough to support your family? If you have all of this and you do it over and over again, this year needs to be better than my last year. If it wasn't, that's fine. Next year will be better than this year. So it is an ongoing thing. It is not that you've reached somewhere. It's not a destination. It is a journey. And if you can feel like that, if you can feel that progression in every part of your life, you are successful. And after success, it's not like you're gonna put your tools down and that's all. There's nothing else to do. You'll continue to do that. And you'll find more opportunities. You'll find another step in something from last year. Take that step, take that progression.
Fantastic. That's a really good answer. I really like that. So what are some of the things that you've done that have made you successful?
As I said, the day my mindset changed about people, valuing people, valuing their time, valuing their advice, and being grateful for having those relationships. That is enough for you to be successful and do better in all your dealings. We're always going to be dealing with people. Even though we work in IT, we don't talk to our SQL query. We don't talk to a script. It's what value is it adding for that business, for that team, for that person.
So what I want to do now is to play back what I've gleaned from our conversation and what I think are your keys to success. The core theme is relationships. You started off by talking about your relationships with mentors. You've had various different mentors for different aspects of your life because you recognize that learning is from the outside, and having this openness to people teaching you has been quite beneficial for you. The second thing is the value that these relationships bring to you and the importance of the value of these relationships, especially with the people around you, because even though we work with technology, we work with people at the end of the day. And that's really important that you have these relationships. And continuing on from that, number 3 is to be conscious of how you make people feel in these relationships, because it's not what you say, it's how you say it. It's how people remember. So it's these 3 elements, and it all revolves around relationships. Have I captured this correctly?
Yep.
So my final question, what advice would you give to your younger self?
Don't overstress. Don't overthink. Everything's going to be okay. Make those decisions, learn from them. Don't be a perfectionist, be an action taker. Just do things. Don't procrastinate, don't overthink. At the time, it might feel like when people say you're a perfectionist, it's a positive thing. It's not. It's not a positive thing. Everything's going to be okay. Don't be judgmental. Stress less.
That's amazing advice. I really like that. Thank you, Himanshu. It's been a really insightful conversation that we've had today, which for me has revealed different facets to mentorship and relationships. I'm very grateful for you spending the time with me and to share these insights. Thank you so much, Himanshu.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Key. And you're doing a phenomenal job by doing this as well. Like, I listen to so many interviews, movie stars and filmmakers and whatnot. There's so much to learn from everyone's experience. But when you're doing this in this IT world and you're bringing, your audiences are in this field, they may not know a lot of things that they can learn from other people, let their hindsight become someone's foresight. Thank you for doing this. I'm sure this will become something really big.
If you found this useful, please like, subscribe, and share this with your friends. Follow Key to Success so you can benefit from my learnings as I undertake my own journey to success.